Good evening and thank you for being with us. It's nice to be with you again. As concerns mount over potentially disruptive long-term projects here in East Texas, two counties are now considering a partnership to look at the effects of everything from solar farms to high-capacity water wells at no cost to the taxpayers.
We woke up one morning, we found out that there were going to be 450,000 solar panels around us. We don't want that for any other citizen in any of these East Texas counties.
David Dunnigan leads a group called Save Van Zandt County. He made the drive to Tyler today to voice support for a possible partnership involving Smith and Van Zandt counties for what's called a 391 commission, an effort backed by state lawmakers like Senator Bob Hall and State Rep Daniel Alders.
Texas is growing by leaps and bounds, and that's good in many ways, but not all growth is necessarily beneficial.
We don't have the strength that Collin County, Bexar County, Tarrant County has, and so it's important for us to partner with our neighbors so we can unite our voices and protect our citizens better.
The commission would study a number of things, including proposals to pump millions of gallons of groundwater out of East Texas, along with large-scale solar farms and battery energy storage systems, specifically the fire hazards they bring and the loss of land.
And we're not going against development. That's the main thing I wanted to stress, because we're all about that here, economic development and bringing companies in, but we want them to do things on our terms.
By law, state agencies like the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality and the Public Utility Commission would be required to work with the commission.
And instead of rubber stamping things, which they clearly do today on a lot of projects, it says, no, you will do this study, and there is this information here, and you will pay attention to it.
And with developers often tight on time and not willing to wait, the commission could dissuade some of them.
I won't say necessarily a deterrent, but it makes them stop and think, is this the right place for us to try to build something?
Now, looking ahead, Smith County commissioners will vote a week from today on whether or not to join that commission. Other counties in the East Texas Council of Governments could also